Welcome back. I'm Neil.
I'm Pat.
I'm Michael.
And this is the 411. We're covering everything in the football world. Just a couple guys in a basement with nothing better to do. Boys, how we feeling this week?
Let's
how
go! Neil, I'm doing...
Is he in his element this week?
I'm in my element every week. I'm bringing the energy. Christmas, 2 days. Super excited. Christmas Eve tomorrow.
Wow. Oh my God, I'm like
Playoff football coming up. Right into the meat of the season.
Gosh.
I'm ready.
I am.
Michael,
Mike,
how are you, man?
How we doing?
Wow. Sunday or
Wow.
Saturday went to the Patriots game.
Interesting.
Electric, unreal. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. The next day is Christmas Day, and New Year's is just a few days away. Wow. Wow. Hype for
Bring
this
in the
podcast.
new year.
Let's go, man.
I'll see you next day.
I hate that.
God.
I hate that.
Ready
All right,
to go.
so outline for today. So we're going to start off A and B. We're going to hop into Patriots talk. So we're all going to react to game we just played versus the Bills, what we got to do playoff-wise, and also playoff implications. We're going to hop into our Super Bowl favorites. I'm going to draw up so much controversy with mine.
Oh,
Yeah,
I cannot
I'm
wait.
sure.
Cannot
Knowing Neil, I'm sure you will.
Oh,
as
it's
he
gonna be
frequently
so,
does.
It's gonna be a time.
Go ahead.
Finish it off. 2-minute warning, and we got our top 3 Christmas movies this week.
All
So,
right.
A and B me. A and B me.
Oh, God.
Got a hot question this week.
Why is it so
do
far
have,
away?
I do have a hot question this week. So, we got A and B. We're talking about Patriots personnel. Does McDaniels leave in the offseason? A, yes. B, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he does not.
So,
He doesn't leave?
I feel like there's a little bit of bias in this just because I am a
Interesting.
Patriots fan, if you didn't
Okay.
know already.
No,
but-
really? I didn't know that.
But let's be real. It seems like every single season, it's just, is McDaniels going to leave? Is he going to leave? And when he played, he was a coach for Denver a while ago. He went 15-17.
Mm-hmm.
That's, like I say all the time, that's not home right.
Nothing to write home about.
Nothing to write home about. So, he was super close to going to the Colts last year. Robert Kraft talked him out of it. What's stopping...
I was just going to say that.
Yep.
What's stopping Robert Kraft from talking him out of it again if the opportunity arises? I don't think it's
100%.
going
This
to.
is exactly what's going to happen. So that was a big thing. So Matt Patricia went to the Lions, and I love Matt Patricia.
Me too.
I really
just
like
love,
that guy.
I just love, like, his beard and everything.
Sam,
Yeah.
he's just, like, awesome.
What would it look like if you shaved it?
That'd be weird.
But you know what's
Next,
crazy?
next A and B, what would happen? Would he look good, yes or no?
But hold on, I'm sorry, but the defense with Matt Patricia, right? Solid. He's a good defensive coordinator. The defense without him, even better.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
But I don't think we
Interesting.
had the talent then.
Who did we add this year that we didn't have last year?
Chase Winovich? Look, I'm not saying that that's like a crazy... But no, I guess you have a point. No, I guess you have a point.
Yeah.
One thing I'd say, though, is that what Michael mentioned. He was going to go to the Colts. Was that 2 years ago?
Last year.
Last year?
That was last year.
It was
Last
after the
offseason,
Rams.
everyone was dipping. Matt Patricia was on that team with the Rams? I don't think so.
Yeah.
You sure? Yeah.
No, it was not.
No,
That was
he
2
left
years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago,
Yeah.
it was Matt Patricia
Last
leaving.
year it was Brian Flores.
Right.
Yeah.
And
That's
Josh
right.
McDaniels
Yeah.
was about to leave and go to the Colts, and he would have done sick. And I think Kraft told him, like, you're going to get the head coaching spot when Bill is done.
Yeah.
So
I
he's
think-
staying
I
there.
think that
And also
was
give him a
promised.
raise.
He's there for the long haul, and he had to promise him something. He wouldn't have a job, a head coaching job somewhere, and then randomly just turn it down and stay there.
Just to be an offensive coordinator.
Right.
You know?
He's going to have a raise,
I
and
agree.
I think he was probably promised the head coaching spot when Belichick
We're on the same
leaves.
page.
Yeah.
We're on the same page.
We're on the same sheet of music.
So, can I hop into Patriots talk? Can I
Yes,
start off
yes.
the
Neil, hop right
conversation?
in, man.
So, I want to talk about wide receivers first.
Yep.
Edelman, 5 of 6 targets for 72 yards, no touchdowns. Not great, kind of an average game for him. I want to focus on something else.
Yep.
Taking the blue medical tent to have his knee wrapped and taking the locker room to have his head examined midway through the game. If he's out, what does this mean?
It's a huge problem. I think that's the most obvious thing in the entire row. How it's a huge problem because outside of him,
Jacoby
Sanu has been
Myers.
awful. Jacoby Myers cannot have any communication with Brady at all.
Mhm.
Nikhil Harry, I know I said last podcast. I'm contradicting myself. I don't think he's gonna do that well, but he's a red zone
something.
threat.
He's something.
Pretty good. He had a touchdown call back in 2 consecutive games.
Who said that? Who said that he was literally crazy for Nikhil carries a
Yeah,
bus?
I said it was crazy. I was too like outlandish. I will admit that. But with that being said,
No, Nikhil Harry is good.
2
He's
games
really
ago, he had 2 catches for 15 yards, and everyone's like, "Whoa!" Like, no.
He's a dude.
Last game he had 3 catches, or a catch.
The dude is built like a tight end.
He's
The
6'4".
dude is huge. And he's not even just tall, he's built, too. He looks like a tight end rather than a receiver.
Last game he had 2 catches for 21 yards. Granted, he had like 3 catches for like 40 because one of them got and a touchdown because one of them got called back because of Sanu, but still.
One thing I would like to say, just in general, about the Patriots. Finally, we are seeing something happen. It makes me happy to see this team look like the New England Patriots again. Because that's a good team. That you can't write that team out. That's a good Buffalo Bills team. Fourth quarter, we scored 14 unanswered points. Michael, just in general, tell us a little bit about like the energy of that stadium.
Oh God,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I can only imagine.
So
that
I
it
went
was
to the
electric.
game and
Yeah.
it was,
Tell us about your experience.
Tell
it
us.
was absolutely electric.
It
I
must
think
have
the
been.
stadium is honestly underratedly loud.
Yeah.
It's
Agreed.
Oh,
it
dude.
is pounding, dude.
Dude, everybody's hammered.
Yeah.
But, like, it's lit. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
I
Silly,
mean,
silly
but
Patriots parade. God.
yeah,
Awesome.
but so there were like 3 big plays. You had the John Brown touchdown, the Cole Beasley touchdown, and the
That
Dawson.
was a-
And then not
Wow.
touchdown, but Cole Beasley had a huge catch. And then you have the Dawson Knox with like 8 seconds to go in
Cole-
the first half. He had that huge like 35-yard catch that
He
led
didn't
them
have a
to tie the
touchdown this
game.
week.
Yeah.
Cole Beasley did.
No, he did not.
Yeah, so you had that. But
I
with that
think
being
next.
said, there weren't too many like big momentum shifts in the game for the crowd at least. Maybe at home there were.
Yeah.
But the crowd, it always seemed that the Patriots were still in it.
Right.
Obviously, it didn't even go more than 4 points differential. But like, there were a lot of plays like the 53-yard touchdown by John Brown that could take those
That
the
could
wind out of
really
your
take-
sails, but
right.
it didn't. Patriots fans were still hungry and they still wanted it.
Hell yeah.
I love
my
that.
I
And
love
I
Gilmore.
love that
I love
Patriots
Gilmore.
fan.
That
Yeah.
was an unreal
Oh my God.
route. That
Yeah.
was
He
sick.
burned Gilmore.
Put him in the
Oh my God,
sitting
John
section.
Brown. So I think, in my opinion, this was Brady's best game.
Yeah, I completely
Against
agree.
the
Of the season?
In my opinion, I think it's the 3rd best defense in the league. The Bills.
Yeah.
Second to the.
Maybe not the best game in the league, but the best game where he's actually played somebody. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, but
It's
I
a
would
big
honestly-
Best game in general, like
Yeah,
against
because
a
he threw
good
for like
team.
350 yards and 3 touchdowns against the Redskins.
Right,
But-
but it's the Redskins.
Exactly. So this is Brady's best game. He's threw 26 for 33, which is almost 80%, which is the highest percentage all year. 271 yards, 4th highest yards per pass this year, and he's won every game where he averages more than 7 yards per pass. All the losses, bless you, are less than 7 yards per pass. It was his 2nd highest QBR, 3rd highest rating, and the offense was nearly flawless. Besides the early hiccup by Rex Burkhead on the first drive,
Which wasn't on time. It was just on that.
it was really the start of the playoffs for this team. They control their own destiny. They could win out to secure the 2 seed, but they can't get the 1 because
That's a problem.
Ravens won last night.
That's a problem.
And we're gonna dive into that later in the next segment. But I don't know about that. But I'm gonna leave it at that.
It's
So-
a problem, but how big is it?
I like how you phrase that.
Yep.
But back to the game, I couldn't think of one point where Brady really like overthrew a receiver or like it was just which has
Yeah.
been so different compared to the rest of the season. And I think that's a testament that the offensive line played really well. I think they
he was around
they kept him
80%.
The
rel-
offensive
rate.
line,
they kept him relatively contained. Yes.
yeah.
They kept him pretty contained, dude. The running game looked solid.
But-
Sony Michel ran for 96 yards and 4.6 yards per carry. Tom, 78 completion rate, almost 80. And you know what? I'm hyped. I'm really excited. I know
Yep.
I'm biased. Tommy Terrific, he's back. He's coming. 23 first downs, 10 by running, 11 by passing. That's consistent, dude. And that's what we need to see so late in the season, headed into the playoffs. They owned 38 minutes of the clock that game. GG's.
Yeah, Bills had what, 21, I think? Something like that? Yeah.
I'm really proud of what the Patriots did. I'm really excited. So now, losing with the Ravens' loss, they're the 1 seed. So meaning everything goes through
Who are they
Baltimore.
playing this week?
No,
Steelers.
Ravens have the 1 seed. Patriots can't
they
go.
already locked it.
Yeah.
So what do you guys think? Just in general, what do you think? What are we thinking?
I'm thinking about a game that happened last year. I think it was the 2018 AFC Championship game, which I think was in Arrowhead, which I think every fan in the entire world counted out the Patriots.
That team-
Which I think hyped the Patriots up so much, which I think led them to go to the Super Bowl and win it.
Yep.
So,
That team
yeah.
is not as good as the Ravens.
I don't know.
I
about
would
that.
agree. Wow.
Well, no,
The
he's right.
Chiefs
The
last
defense,
year
dude. The defense.
are not as good as the Ravens this year.
He's right. He's right. I would agree with that. Because
Like,
think about
just-
I'm
that
not gonna say
AFC
better or worse.
Championship.
I'm gonna say different.
The last, okay,
Think about that.
He might be right with. I know I'm being easily swayed, but you might
If
be
you
right
look at
with
stats, they're very comparable. Compared like the 2018 Chiefs to the 2019 Ravens, they're very similar.
Yeah.
I think they're two different teams.
agreed.
Given how it's Bill Belichick and he can kind of adjust to anything, and once he sees you,
I think- continue, sorry.
once he sees you once,
Agreed,
it's
he doesn't
over.
like to lose twice,
I
but
don't think anybody likes to
And it
lose
doesn't
twice.
happen
I don't think he
frequently.
does it.
It doesn't happen frequently for Tom either, dude. Or not Tom, Bill. He doesn't lose twice.
He doesn't.
He really doesn't. He stays pretty regimented, and I don't. When I think about them in the playoffs, would it be nice for it to be in Gillette? Yeah,
Obviously.
But am I like watching this game, and it pops up on CBS, and I'm like, oh, game over. It's not in Foxborough.
No way.
not game over. But
I think that's ridiculous.
we could dive into that later.
No. I think the Ravens are considerable favorites, but you can never count out Brady. I don't think anybody's counting him. Well, actually, no, that's not true. Everybody's counting out
Brady.
Everybody's counting out the Patriots,
Everybody.
which I think is completely unfair given their track record of just being, a dynasty.
That's true, but the dynasty won't save them this year when their wide receiver core is dependent upon Julian Edelman.
Okay, tell me who the Ravens have outside of Marquise Brown, who's like a good wide receiver.
Exactly. Give me a
That's
good
where
receiver
you
that
tell
they
me
have.
that Willie Snead.
But
is
they
a
have the
guy you can go
versatility
to.
of Jackson.
Yeah,
That's
I
exactly.
agree. I agree.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that we have more like talent in our receivers, I think, than the Ravens do.
1,000%.
They
Talk
have
about their
more.
receivers.
I think they have more to work with.
Do they?
Who?
In Jackson.
Marquise Brown,
Ingram.
Willie Snead.
Oh,
I'm
Ingram.
saying wide receivers.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying wide
Okay.
receivers.
I'm talking all around.
I see what he's saying.
Yeah.
So this begs the question: what do they need to do?
What
To
do the
get to
Pats need
Miami.
to do? The Pats just need to be the Pats, dude. And I know that sounds like, oh, like no shit, they need to be the Pats. I remember I actually went to his house for this game. It was it is the most uncomfortable I felt about a Patriots playoff game in my life. It was Patriots Chargers.
This was oh,
Yes.
Patriots
really?
Chargers.
You were
Yep.
uncomfortable about that?
It was the most scared I have ever been
No way.
going to somebody's house or my house or getting ready at my house to watch a Patriots playoff
Well, the
game.
thing that
I
worried me
was
was that they were
terrified.
undefeated on the road. That's the thing that
Undefeated on
worried
the
me.
road.
Yeah.
They were hot, and the Patriots weren't.
Mhm.
And what happened?
2-2 in December.
And
What happened?
What?
What happened?
Patriots. The
We
score
didn't.
I look
We
at.
didn't just win.
The score I look at is 38-7. That's how much they led by at one point.
Right. I think there was some garbage time touchdowns, but we won that game by a landslide.
It was a 42-21.
And I think that,
something like
and I think that put a wind in every Patriots fan sails. So when I say the Patriots just have to be the Patriots, they just gotta play like they do in the playoffs, dude. They're a whole different team, and I think that's really a test to the coaching. I think that's an attest to Tom. Tom gets in his element, like I do every podcast.
element.
I
His
get my
element.
element. Tom does too. I really feel like that's gonna be
Yeah,
important.
Patriots won 41-28, but that final score does not really tell the
Absolutely.
So, Super Bowl favorites. Who wants to?
You know what?
Mike.
Yeah.
No. Mike.
I want Michael to start.
Mike, begin.
because it's the obvious one. It's the Ravens.
Me too.
And I know I just said
Me too.
the Patriots.
I want to see your. I have 4 like subtopics.
Wait, you said you think that the Ravens is like a crazy favorite?
Yeah, what now?
You said at the beginning of the podcast, you said, I'm going to shock the world.
No, I just figured you'd both would choose New England, and I'd be
No, how?
ostracized. I don't
Yeah,
know.
well,
I chose New England.
Well,
yeah.
and I could dude, if I were to put money on it, I'd put on Baltimore. But you cannot count out the Patriots. I think there's a very good chance.
I'm not necessarily counting on the Patriots.
Oh, you've counted
but
out the Patriots, Neil. You have counted out the Patriots.
You
You've
just said that
you
you're
have,
counting
you have
them
said
out.
numerous times that they are not
You
going to win
just-
the
you
Super
just
Bowl.
said-
They do not have the talent.
You just
That
said,
is counting
do you
them
really
out.
think that it's going to be a game in Baltimore? You said, do you really think it's going to be a game?
Right. Dude, it's gonna be super important to watch that game. So if you don't believe in that team, then what's even the point of watching?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll see you at the parade.
So-
Yeah, Neil. See the
All
parade.
right, so the current odds. Baltimore 225, New England 600, tied with the Saints for 600, Niners at 650, Chiefs at 700, and Seahawks at 800. This is before last night where the Seahawks lost, the Chiefs won, the 49ers won, the Saints won, Patriots won, and Baltimore won. Seahawks probably dropped a little bit. Let's be real for a second. The Ravens are nearly unstoppable. Baltimore is second in yards per game, first in points per game, the highest time of possession, which is a huge stat, third best third down conversion rate, second in yards per play. But it's more than just stats. The playoffs have to go through Baltimore, which is huge because they are undefeated at home.
Yep.
They've also beaten teams like the 49ers, Rams, Texans, Bills, Seahawks, Patriots, Steelers. 4 out of those 7 games came on the road, which just shows how dominant they truly are.
Yeah.
No one has found an answer for Lamar Jackson, and I don't see anyone doing that soon. Except for the New England Patriots.
Yeah, let's go. I have a point. I might be wrong. I think this is right. Didn't they lose to the Browns?
They did. And they were
So
actually...
what makes you think that they're so unstoppable?
Because they just crushed the Browns yesterday.
I guess you're right.
In the first half, they were down 6-0 going into a 2-minute warning.
They were a different team at the beginning of the
But
season.
the first half finished like 14-6.
Yeah, I think they peaked at the wrong time. That's what I
Yes,
think.
my dad keeps on saying it.
Yep.
I'm sticking by
I
it.
think they peaked at the wrong time.
I will hop in. I say Ravens for 4 reasons.
Yeah, Ravens won 31-15 yesterday. Wasn't even a contest.
Yep.
4 reasons. Depth of their team, new rehabilitated offense. There's no other real, besides New England and Kansas City, they're not, worried about too many other teams.
I think the Texans can pop off.
And you know who I think is also going to pop off? The Bills.
Yeah, so what happened last time
Dude,
the Ravens
Bills
played
Bills almost beat them.
Came down to a 2-minute warning drive. And the
Right.
Bills led
They
down
almost
the field.
beat them.
They got down to the 10-yard line. and
Dude,
couldn't
it's
convert.
playoff football. You can't.
And that was in... Oh,
You
no,
can't
it was
write
awful.
anybody off, dude, at all. But I see what I see what you're saying now.
Fourth reason, Lamar Jackson. So let's go through. So depth of this team: 3 good quarterbacks: Humphrey, Smith, Carr. 3 solid running backs: Edwards, Hill, Ingram.
Ingram went down yesterday with a non-contact injury, so you don't know how serious that is.
Correct.
He was questionable to come back, though.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted on that. What else we got? A lot of safeties, 3 really promising inside linebackers. We got their new offense. Speaks for itself. They're without a doubt way stronger than they were last year.
Whoa. Mark Ingram was sporting a walking boot after the game.
Oh, that's tough.
That's
huge.
gonna take
Because
a blow.
you know what that eliminates? That hurts Lamar. Because think about it. Did the Ravens run a drop back handoff? Never.
Yeah.
They always do RPOs, read options. So without him, Gus Edwards, I guess. But can you really do that effectively without Ingram? Ingram's their
They also
guy.
do a lot of double QB plays.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
be very
a
interested
little.
to see how if we get to the AFC Championship
We got
game
RG3
how
in there a little bit. I don't
Yeah.
know. Maybe. Just that time, there were 3 Heismans in the field, all in the backfield at one time. Lamar Jackson, RG3, and Mark Ingram.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was unreal. Oh my God.
Third, yeah, so they don't really have let's go through the AFC right now. AFC South. So Houston has that last time Ravens played Houston, I actually predicted it was.
Oh my God,
I think
yeah,
last
it was a
pod,
huge blowout.
I predicted it was gonna be very big passing, and I predicted Houston win by a field goal. Or, yeah, I think I predicted Houston to win. It was 41-7. The Texans lost.
Yeah.
It was a bloodbath.
Wasn't even a contest.
AFC West Chiefs. So they actually gave Baltimore one of their 2 losses of the season so far. It was back in week 3, and I think you guys can disagree with me. I think the Ravens have improved tremendously since that time.
I
They've
agree.
really come together as a team. Their team chemistry is way
They
better.
won 11 straight since that game.
Yeah, exactly.
That's crazy.
AFC East, obviously,
No, wait. I forgot about the Browns game that they lost.
I
2
see.
weeks later.
AFC East, New England. So I think the Patriots are their biggest threat by far, but I don't think they have the weapons that the Ravens do. You made a good point earlier. So all right. So who do you think? Do you think the Patriots? I think the Patriots are more reliant on Edelman than the Ravens are reliant on Brown.
Obviously.
I think
Brown gets
Because
maybe
they
4 or
have
5
the
targets a
versatility
game.
of Jackson, so they don't have
Exactly.
There's not much urgency to throw.
There's no reliance. And given how Brady can't run,
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah.
you have to resort to Edelman. And Edelman,
Dude can move.
I don't think the bye is actually going to affect them very much. because if you look at the injury
That's
report,
just gonna let him heal up. I think it's awesome.
no, my point, the opposite. Edelman has a damaged tendon.
Yep.
You can't. That takes surgery. You can't just like heal from that over time. Like you can't just rest and that heals. You have to get surgery for that. So he's gonna have that lingering injury, that knee problem he has, maybe a concussion he's dealing with. This guy is so banged up and is not making any news headlines at all.
Yeah, but he's gritty, dude.
Did you see him last game?
He is gritty,
dude?
but
Dude's
he
a
is...
baller.
I know I'm gonna be like so annoying with this, but I went to the game. Every time he went off the field,
Hey, did you know I went to the game?
it's the only one I've gone to the last like 4 years. God, when he was walking the field, he hobbled every single time, dude.
Yeah.
He is not looking good, at all, and I'm really worried about that because I think Harry is looking really good.
I think so. I think Harry's somebody we
Look good
can
in the
lean on.
game, especially about.
I like those little
against the
I like those little gadget plays they do with them. They'll like toss him. And they'll just. It's just that absolute like Tom laid out that dude.
Yeah,
that was
oh
electric.
My God,
dude, the place must have went nuts.
Yeah,
that's so awesome.
Unreal.
Can I hop into mine?
all yeah.
Fancy
Well,
favorites?
I have a little bit of Lamar. So fourth reason, obviously, Lamar Jackson. So let's see the season stats from this year. So he's got 3,000 yards, 36 touchdowns, just unreal. An unreal. And I'm going back on what I said a few pods ago with Russell Wilson. MVP.
Yeah, obviously.
I'm with you. I'm totally
far and away.
Completely.
Russell Wilson has looked awful the last 4 weeks. Lamar Jackson is
run away with it.
Far and away the favorite.
Run
I think he's been the favorite since like week 11. Honestly, week 10. I think he's been the consensus favorite.
Yeah.
All right, Pat, hop into it. Go for it.
All right. So New England Patriots. Call me biased. I know. I love them. Yeah, okay. But they're my favorites. Call me crazy. And this is going to be weird to hear, and it's a weird comparison.
Crazy.
This season, and I wasn't alive, it reminds me of the 01 season.
Yeah, they're the underdogs.
Very much so.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of. And I wasn't alive. I've read up and watched a lot of this team. It's about turnover differential. One thing that you could see in the game against the Bills is that there were limited offensive mistakes. And with a team that knows that their offense isn't the main part of their team.
Yeah, I was gonna say that defense was unreal.
Absurd.
And if you look at like any headline throughout week maybe like 1 to 8, it was who's better, 2019 Patriots defense or 01 Patriots defense?
And let's think. I was just gonna say that. And let's think of the 2001 Patriots defense. Quick names: Ty Law, Laurie Malloy, Teddy Bruschi, Willie McGinnis. Those guys are studs. Big names. Just to name a few. And we're talking a really dominant defense. Sound familiar? You know what I mean? A dominant defense with a good offense but struggling to find their stride. Sound familiar? A part of the 01 season, we lost 3 of our last 5.
Sound familiar?
Do you know what the 29 Patriots did this season? Lost 3 of their last 5. It's an offense who's finding their way, and when it happened in their next 5 games, they won out. After those 5 games, they won out. And who did the 01 Patriots play in the AFC Championship? Does anybody know?
They faced the Rams and the...
Rams in the Super Bowl.
Oh, God, who was it?
They played the Steelers.
Yeah, Steelers.
Steelers. Do you know what seed the Steelers were?
One.
Do you know what seed the Patriots were? Doesn't that sound rather familiar?
Yeah,
like a weird, like, super team
They
at
went
home?
into Steelers, beat them. They've never gone... Did they go to Denver and win?
No,
Have
they
ever done
lost
that?
in Denver.
Well, yeah, once. They faced him like 8 times in the AFC Championship.
That's so weird. Doesn't that sound just really like familiar to
Whoa.
what's happening right now? A really dominant team that's the number 1 seed, and it's supposed to like just never be beat, and then the 2 seed goes in there and beats them. That sounds.
Let me flash back
really
to last year for a second. Brady's 42. Edelman's past his prime.
Yep.
Gronk looks like he should be retired. The defense is lackluster. Who won the Super Bowl? I know I've contradicted myself about 47 and a half times this podcast.
Oh yeah.
But like,
I think the Bills game was so key and really seeing
that's the
this
playoffs right there.
because I see the Patriots muscling through, just grinding through, and that's what we need to see late in the season, right? And like the meat of like coming to the wild card, watching these games, it's gonna be super interesting to see the Patriots become playoff Patriots. It's like they got like a superpower, dude. They muscle through it and they find a way to win.
Yeah, like I remember just the last few years, maybe just last year, you talk about the Celtics with like Kyrie, Gordon Hayward, all these like, huge known guys, very average regular season. Like, oh, they're gonna turn it off in the playoffs. They never did.
Mm-hmm.
Red Sox, they're gonna turn it around at some point in the second half of the season. 500
The Patriots
teams,
are
they're gonna
different,
turn around.
though.
They are
It's the
different.
Patriots are so much.
Oh, I'm
different.
sorry. You
That's
were
my
on the
point.
same
That's
page.
my point. Yeah.
It's so much different. The Patriots, it's something that they got, dude.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I
And I think it's Bill. I think it might be Tom. We don't know because we've never seen them apart. But there's something about that team, dude.
I know.
And I think it's
Oh my
really
God, I
important.
know. Yeah.
Thoughts, Neil?
I just want to. So, do you have any more on, Super Bowl favorites? Anything to add?
Well, I want to talk about the NFC. Who do
Okay.
you think is going to represent the NFC in Miami?
Interesting. So, kind of cliche.
I already know exactly who he's going to say.
Niners.
That's the most least surprising thing I've ever seen. Garoppolo's going to shit himself in the playoffs.
I
I
think so,
guarantee
too.
it.
Really?
I think
So
Garoppolo,
then
he
who?
doesn't.
If not Jimmy,
That's
then
another
who?
thing.
I
That's another
don't-
reason.
I don't see
How
the
many
Saints. I
playoff
think it's going to be
games?
the Saints.
How many playoff games has Lamar played?
Yeah.
Yeah,
One.
one.
And he played it in the wild card last year and
Yeah.
lost to the Chargers.
I
He
just
doesn't
think...
have the experience.
Yeah.
Brady has like 74 years under his belt.
Right.
Not worried.
I really feel
The guy's
like...
basically like Moses.
I
Yeah, honestly.
I really feel like that the Saints are the most are they consistent? Because they've
yeah, they're
lost to the
consistently good.
Bucks.
They're consistently good.
but they just seem so like
But let's
there's
be
nothing
real.
about their team that really just isn't
Outside
good.
of Michael Thomas and Jared Cook
Kamara?
has emerged.
Cook.
Yeah, I'm saying
Breeze,
no, I'm
obviously.
saying throw to.
What to throw to? Okay, you can throw to Kamara. He's versatile.
Yeah, but like
I
out
think
of the
I think
backfield, how reliant can you really become?
I'm-
Like how reliant are you
right.
on James White in the Patriots backfield? You can't become that
okay,
reliant on it.
right. But also, I can be relying on James White catching the ball. You know who I can't be relying on catching the ball? Sonny Michel.
Yeah.
He can't catch. That's the problem. He's dropped so many
Which is a
catches.
huge problem in a defense where you
Let's
know
get into that.
if
Do
Sonny
you-
Michel is on the field, you know that they're going to run it.
Right.
He had 32 snaps last week. He had 21 carries. I think he blocked on
right.
the other half.
Right.
So he only ran routes on like
Speaking of
5 of
blocks,
his 32 snaps. Brady,
Tom.
yeah. Oh my god, no. So he ran routes on 5 out of his 32 snaps.
Yeah.
As a defense, you know you don't have to cover Michelle. When James White is on the field, I think he runs routes in like 80-85% of the snaps.
Agreed.
So-
Michelle's more of a running.
Exactly.
running back.
Yeah, other teams have the same exact thing. Like, if Latavius Murray's on the field for the Saints, they're going to run it. Or if he's on the field, he's probably going to... If there's
Probably
gonna
gonna run around.
Yeah.
Right.
If Alvin Kamara's on it, it's 50-50 though, which makes him a versatile team.
But back to that whole thing with Edelman. I like Harry, dude. I like.
too.
We know.
I just I've really liked what I've seen out of him. And if Edelman's
But it's
banged
such
up,
a sample
and if
size.
Edelman needs a rest, dude, I'm okay with relying on Harry. Kind of.
I cannot
He's
rely
a
on Harry.
he's a big receiver. I see him doing well in the playoffs.
I don't know. If Sanu was better, I would say rest Edelman. But you know when they should have rested him? The Cincinnati game. You should have rested Edelman and Sanu that game.
Yeah.
That was just a boneheaded move by Belichick to not
I'm
do
kind
that.
of
yeah.
with that.
It
I'm
didn't
kinda
make
with that.
any sense.
Do you think
It
they
was not
sit
an
him this
important
week?
game. No, they can't. If
Yeah.
the Bears won last night against the Chiefs, then they could have.
I wish that happened so bad, dude.
I know.
That would have made everything so much easier.
It's really frustrating.
Yeah,
It really
we
is.
would have locked the 2 seed, and we
It-
would have had
de facto bye.
we would have been able to sit
Would
everybody.
have been able to see Jarrett Stidham start for the Patriots.
Stidham. What do you think about that guy? I don't know. We've
He's
always
not-
remember
we haven't seen.
we saw him. I remember we saw him. Brady got benched because we were blowing him out, and then he went in and threw an interception. Stidham threw an interception like a couple plays in. I don't know.
That's
I'm not
so
sure
tough.
how I feel.
Top 3.
Let's do it, man.
Oh
Okay.
my God. All right.
Hell yeah.
So
You lead it off now.
number 3, I think Christmas Vacation.
Okay,
agreed.
that's a good call.
Agreed.
Kind of a cliche one. I've been watching it for a while since I was a little kid. Rudolph.
That's a good call.
Boo.
No, I like that call.
But at number 2.
No, I like that call.
Yep.
At number 2.
If
All
it
right,
was number 1,
no-
I'd complain.
I want to see if we all have the same number 1. Ready? Number 1 in 3, 2, 1.
A Christmas
Elf.
Story. No, not Elf. Elf is the most overrated.
No,
Christmas
it's
movie
not.
Shut that.
ever.
You
You
shut the
suck.
hell up.
You
You
suck.
shut the
It's
hell
not
up.
that good. It's really
God.
not.
Number 3, Polar Express.
Yes.
I just went number 3. Number 3.
Good job.
Number 2 is Christmas Vacation. Number 1 is Elf. Completely. And I had a lot of trouble with Christmas Vacation and Elf. I was like, ugh. It pained me to say, but Elf was number 1 for me.
Number 3, Christmas Vacation. Number 2, nobody said it, which is really surprising. The original Grinch.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that.
Okay.
Like,
It's a good
where
movie.
is that? And number 1, A Christmas Story.
Interesting.
Elf's like 4 or 5, maybe. Honestly,
Okay.
Elf is not
Wow.
that good.
Okay. Good.
Okay. All right.
I can
It's
respect
not that good.
Interesting. 2-minute warning.
Good, yeah.
Maybe with the
Go
2-minute
for it.
warning, Michael.
All right, so obviously we had a very small outline this week. We tried to be very loose with it, very opinionated, not too many stats, but we lit off with Neil's A and B. Obviously,
McDaniels.
McDaniels. I think he's
I
gonna
think it's-
stay.
You think he's gonna stay?
I think he's gonna stay.
He's
I
gonna
stick
he's
to
definitely
that.
gonna stay.
I think so too. I don't think it really matters whether they win a Super Bowl or not. I think if they don't, he has one thing more that he wants to do. If they do, he's trying to chase some more. I don't know. Wait until Brady retires.
Question: when does Bill retire?
I think he goes out with Brady.
I don't know. I think he'll coach a couple more years.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't want to think about it.
Me neither.
Then we went to Patriots talk. Obviously, reaction to the game versus the Bills. What do we need to do?
Fantastic.
Playoff-wise to
So happy with the way the Bills played.
Yeah.
So consistent.
Cement
Tom looked
ourselves
good.
as the top
Finally.
franchise.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Talking about the playoff implications, and then we dove into the Super Bowl favorites. Neil and I hopped on the Ravens, bandwagon. Pat took his own route with the
Loyalty.
Patriots.
Loyalty, man.
I would love to see the Patriots. Oh my God, I'd love to see it. I think they have a very legitimate chance, but the Ravens are just such a powerful team.
Yep.
Then we hopped into the top 3 Christmas movies, and yeah, that's kind of
Elf.
it.
Hands down. Hands down. Elf.
I don't know,
I know
man.
it, boys.
Put it
Drink
there.
it, drink it.
Another
Podcast.
episode. I think we've concluded.
concluded.
I'm Neil.
I'm Pat.
I'm Michael.
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah! Let's go, brothers. Merry Christmas, boys.
There.